Guys, everyone's ready. Let's go ahead with questions for Coach. Bob, if they're really good, we're score the first quarter here against this, except against this team.
Well, they're going to create chances, and you're not going to just try to score at the end. I mean, we did well to get the lead. Disappointing, we gave up a goal right before half. Initial ball is dealt with, headed up in the air. We have guys that need to pick up a second ball or get behind the ball. We don't pick up the second ball. They move the ball, they make a run in behind, and still only Suber and Gee are defending. The reality is we should have had any of our midfielders and our outside backs back in the box. I mean, Suber's tracking Myers. Gee has Rabin, 1v1. If Rabin runs in front of him, Gee is in front of him, goal side. He curls to the backside. Should have been connected on the backside. Had that discussion with Luke. We're watching, waiting for us to, why aren't we all coming back and dealing with it? When we initially headed the ball, instead of us sprinting to get around the ball, maybe they'll head it 30 yards. We have to recover. You're up 1-0. It's a nothing ball that we don't clear. They pick up the seconds and attack from there, and we don't have our back line intact. That is a massive mistake at that time of the game, or we're up 1-0 at halftime. We knew they'd have a lot of the ball. The hopes was that we would have around 40% of the ball. I think it ended up 62-38, so kind of expected that. Knew we'd get some chances in transition, which we did. Their keeper made a couple of big saves. We hit the post on one. I think Augie may have hit the post on one. He had it saved, and then he's on the ground, and he kicks it in the post and trips over a ball where he'd have been one on the keeper. Guys have to make plays. We had chances. You have to finish your chances. Let's give them credit. They had Eric made an unbelievable save right before Danny scored. The guy gets just in front of Suber. I think it was Myers. Blocks it somehow. He makes a great save. We're able to score a couple of minutes later. Even though we threw an extra guy in the midfield to kind of take that away, they still played through the middle more than we would have liked. I think pushing Beto higher. Obviously had the assist on probably unassisted because Danny got his own rebound, but he nodded down to Danny. But I don't know that the defending was good enough from our front four. We gave their players a lot of time on the ball. We didn't pick up enough second balls. Look, there were good things today. We had chances, but if you give them that much time, they're going to put balls through lines and in dangerous areas. Their forwards are very active, and they have a pretty good attacking core and some very good attacking mids. I thought Akaza, who doesn't always start, was very good on the day. Rodriguez kind of stepped up and was a major handful. Usually it's Torres who didn't play tonight. Jennings came off the bench. So, you're playing a top team. You have to be at your best, and you can't make, to me, both goals are bad goals from our end. I think we were lucky in a few occasions, so maybe it all evens out, but we knew we'd have to make plays. We made those plays, and then it's the couple of mistakes that we shouldn't have made that ended up costing us, in my opinion. And we can't be so wasteful. You know, when we get those chances in the box, you know, I know there's one in the first half where Augie spun, and I think he's shooting from like 6 yards. And if he shoots it down at all, it's a goal. You know, and you can't hit it into the keeper's chest and hands. Like, that ball's got to be hit into the ground and either side. Like, we're not picking out. You know, you should be able to pick out a corner from 10 yards and in pretty consistently. And we probably have more misses inside of 6 to 8 yards than anyone. I mean, those have to be buried. You know, I think even trying to squeeze the space, off the ball, we have not been good enough, in my opinion, all year. You need all your players moving off the ball constantly. And to me, we worked on it. We've continued to stress it. It shows up a little bit more the hotter it is, but even on days where it wasn't hot, we're not closing lines. We're not winning second balls. We're not in the area to win the next ball. At the end of the first half, when that ball goes in the air, there should be all 4 backs together and all the midfielders right in front of them ready to win the second ball. That should happen. And you have Suber and McGee dealing with a ball without their outside backs around and without guys there to win the next ball. It shouldn't happen. It came off of, I believe, a goalkeeper or a long ball from the defender. It's just a hit and hope ball. There's no excuse for us not to get balls back into our players, back into our defensive third. That is guys saying, oh, they'll make the play. It's taking a shortcut. Good teams don't do that. And right now, our record has been impacted by the fact that we haven't been consistent enough doing all the little things that are required. We certainly showed, and talking to Pierman after the game, like, good team, you know, yeah, we had the lead, but reality is, this is a 90-minute game. They kept playing. They constantly tried to get in areas to win the next ball. It shows over time.